Well, welcome everyone. We are here for another Zoom of real people, real stories. And we are so excited that you're joining us tonight. We're going to be visiting with another person that has had some experience with redox molecules. And redox molecules, if you're not familiar with those, and by the way, I should introduce myself. My name is Dr. Barbie Phillips, and I have been a chiropractic physician for 23 years for people and animals, and I'm coming to you from Northwest Oklahoma. I have been involved with the redox molecules myself for about 4 years. And so if you're new to redox molecules, we'll explain just a little bit about them. Redox molecules are very important for all our cellular functions. And every part of our body, the way it functions, you have to have those molecules for our cells to communicate. You have better cell communication, you have better health. And when we have better health, everything just works better. And I will once again, just if you've got your camera on, go ahead and turn your camera and your mics off just for the recording, and then we'll open it back up at the end. All right. And so redox molecules, we will lose sometimes about 1% per year after the age of puberty. And so as we start to lose that, then our body cannot communicate like it used to. And so we can start to have health challenges. So redox signaling molecules is from a company called ASEA. And ASEA has been able to establish redox signaling molecules outside the human body where we can consume them in a liquid, or we can consume them in a gel form where you rub them on. And because these molecules are so small, they're easily absorbed into the cells, which is great because once we get them into the body, they act as an on-off switch to the cells. And when the cells get the good ones turned on and the bad ones turned off, we just have overall better health and better resilience to stress. So I am going to put in a disclaimer at this point that we are not going to speak about anything that's intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any medical condition. We simply are going to hear from our guest tonight, Thad Combs, and what his experiences that he's seen with redox molecules, and also a little bit maybe about the business for him, because there is a business side to this too. So Thad, I'm going to ask you to come on and we'll start our interview. I'm going to ask you to share a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your background, and how long you've been involved with ASEA, and kind of what your life is like since you've gotten involved with ASEA.
Absolutely, Barbie. Appreciate you asking me to come on here and share some information that may be helpful to other people. So to give you a little bit of background, I grew up in Kansas in a farming ranching operation and played every sport that we had available to us. And I was a pretty cocky dude and thought I was invincible, and I pretty well was, till I got on up in my late teen, early 20 years. Didn't really get sick, didn't really get injured, worked really hard, and like most people that live on a ranch, you are pretty well called to do what needs to be done no matter what. So, going from thinking I was invincible to at the age of 22 having a back fusion, I kind of had a wake up call. And the fusion worked pretty good for about 7 years, and then things started to deteriorate a little bit. So fast forward till 6 years ago, I'd gotten to the point where my back, my knees, and my shoulders hurt all the time. It's just a matter of what degree of discomfort they were. I couldn't sleep more than about 4.5 or 5 hours per night, no matter what time I went to bed. When I woke up, I felt like I'd been run over by a truck, completely exhausted, couldn't take naps during the day. I had mental fog, no energy, and just, life was really difficult. And in my own defense, I had, from the back fusion on, I started to pay more attention to wellness, eating, exercise, and trying to do things the right way, having a little better wellness mindset, I guess you'd say. So I had tried pretty much everything to that point: chiropractic, essential oils, yoga, steroid injections, decompression, diet and exercise, and some things helped. You're a chiropractor. I still use chiropractic as a maintenance, but as a general rule, I just kind of continued to spiral down. And so a friend from church actually introduced redox molecules to me, and I basically told her, I said, well, it won't work. Nothing has and nothing will. And I said, there's nothing wrong with you anyway. And she had had a pretty significant autoimmune challenge. And she said, yeah, it gave me my life back when I had no hope. So you need to try this and just trust me, give it some time. So again, my target areas when I started on the product and knew that it wouldn't work were my back, knees, and shoulders because they were the most significant. So once I started using the product, I knowing that it wouldn't work. You want Lou to mute her? There she goes. All right. I started using the product and found that in 2 weeks I was sleeping better. In about 2 months, I actually had energy that I could feel and tell, but other people had mentioned it to me before that. And again, I was cynical and a skeptic. And so I didn't believe it and didn't want to believe it if it was true. So at 2 months, I knew that I had more energy. About 2.5 months, the mental fog started to lift. And at that time, I didn't know that it was mental fog. I just knew that people typically got older and had, you know, less cognitive skills the more life experience they got as a general rule. And I actually started to regain some of mine. And then it was about 5 or 5.5 months when my back, knees, and shoulders quit hurting. And I don't know when they stopped. It was just a particular day somebody said, hey, how's your back doing? It looks like you're moving pretty good. And it's like, honestly, yeah, it's not bothering me. Neither are my shoulders, neither are my knees. When did that go away? So um, that was kind of my personal experience going from absolutely, silly and ludicrous. Why would I want to spend money on it to being a firm believer? And then I started to passively share it because, I'm a person of integrity. People might think I'm crazy if I share this. So I had some close friends and family that had some pretty significant experience on the products and ultimately did that for about 3 years. And then 3 years ago, transition to do it as a full-time career, um, mainly because it's so impactful. And I'm a man of faith, and I believe we're all here for a purpose, and we're here to make a difference in other people's lives. And the things that I did previously to that, I provided really good service and did a great job for other employers. Even as being an entrepreneur in a construction company, I worked really hard and we provided a great product for people, but it didn't truly change people's lives. And in this business, I've had the opportunity to impact people. And there again, the body is what's doing the work, not us, not our products. We're just empowering the body to do what it already knows to do. I believe our bodies were designed to heal themselves and overcome challenges. And when we get out of the way and give them what they need, they seem to do a pretty good job of it. So now I'm able to get paid in goosebumps as well as monetarily while making a difference in people's lives, and every dollar represents a life being changed. So um, that's kind of my story.
Wow, that's a really awesome story. So it sounds like you went from, you had mentioned maybe being a little pessimistic or arrogant from your past to being a changed person along the way because something actually came along that changed your life. And so you're willing to share that with others. So that's pretty awesome how it's actually changed you as a person to where you can be more available to help others. So one thing that we do know is there's several areas that the ASEA works on, specifically different pathways. Would you like to share those, or would you like me to go over those? Just out of curiosity, if people are aware of that or not, or
Yeah, I think the pathways that it typically works on are all pathways.
very true.
um, it works at the cellular and the epigenetic level to reboot the cells or transfer energy to them. So an analogy that I've heard used a couple of times is like a flashlight that has a dim light. The batteries are run down and it is still working, but it's not working to its full potential. And when you replace the batteries or you put a fully charged set of batteries in there or give those batteries a recharge, now you have a light that has a full spectrum. It is bright and it is functional and you can do a whole lot more work. And if you've ever, I know you live in Western Oklahoma, and on a cold wintry night, if you're out checking cows with a flashlight that's dim, you can't go very fast and you might run into some issues because you can't see well. And it's the same way with our cells. They can't communicate, they can't repair, they're just not able to function as well when they don't have that full energy. So back to your pathway question, um, we have scientific proof, massive, massive amounts of science behind these products. So it is so radically different and such a breakthrough that the company has spent a lot of resources to back up what they know that it does. So the main areas that it typically helps are cardiovascular, digestive, immune response. Um, I guess what are the other two that I'm missing? There's five categories.
Let's see, hormone modulation
Yep,
and the inflammatory response.
that's right.
Yeah. So there's a lot of benefits to different areas that they've been able to prove. And like you mentioned, they put some new studies out there, the NRF2 pathway about increasing glutathione, which we know is very, very important to our health. So very good. Yeah, very good. It's just fantastic products. So let me ask you, have you gotten any use out of the skincare line or the cell performance line? I'm curious because a lot of the guys are even doing the skincare line.
Yeah, I use
Don't be
all of our
shy.
products. I use all of the products for two reasons. The first reason is if I'm going to share it with somebody else and invite them to use our products or technologies, I want to be able to give them my firsthand experience. Now, firsthand experience isn't necessarily going to translate to their experience, but people are usually going to be more trusting if they know that you're using something that you're recommending to them. And our all of our products work extraordinarily well. So to use a Jerry White, who's a friend of ours in this business, um, he somebody asked him if the gel works pretty good, and he'll hold up the tube of gel and he'll go, "This used to be ugly." So mine is still that way, but the point is um, there's a lot of people that think I'm, 5 to 8 years younger than I actually am. So yes, I do use the skincare products, and
That's
probably
awesome.
the to me it was the most shocking is our collagen product. We have I call it a collagen-free collagen product
Right?
because it doesn't have collagen in it. It just has the amino peptides necessary for our body to build its own collagen. It doesn't have any animal parts. But I've used all of our products for, like I said, almost 6 years now. And when we came out with the Radiance, it's like, well, I want to look as good as I can for as long as I can. So I'll go ahead and try that product too. And the back of my hands is where I can probably tell it the most. I don't work outside as much as I used to, but the back of my hands were pretty wrinkly. And, when you squeeze the skin and it doesn't, you know, have enough elasticity to go back flat, I've seen pretty significant improvements in the smoothness of my skin, the elasticity, diminishing of wrinkles. And then I actually have less wrinkles on the top of my head, in front of my ears, and my neck than I did 6 years ago. And some people ask, well, how much product did you use and what did you take when you started? And I honestly don't remember. It was probably 4 ounces per day. It was later on that we kind of learned, hey, just super saturate your body. You can drink as much as you want, can't hurt you. Drink more, rub more, to use Terry Latham's comment. If you're not seeing the results you want, use more products. So I really, really do love the cell performance products. And our president and CEO, Scott Aldred, making the comment that he only changed adding the energy, mind, and mood products to his regimen. And he has a pretty consistent regimen. But in a year's time, he lost about 20 pounds, but looks like his physique looks like he's lost 40. He's much more chiseled.
Wow.
And that is just from using the energy and mind as a pre-workout because it's increasing his metabolism. It's decreasing, the hunger drive, and he's just living a healthier life. And so, yeah, I use all of our products. They're all fantastic. I've spent a little bit of time comparing to other products that are out there that might be similar. Nobody else has Redox, so if you're wondering about that, nobody else in the world has that product, Redox products, where you can use them. But some of our other products, they might have something similar, cost wise, ingredient wise. I just don't think anybody is even close. And if they are remotely close, they're astronomically more expensive. So yeah,
Mhm.
I love all the products.
That's great. That's great. So tell me just a little bit about the culture and the company, how you feel about having a business with the SIA company and the people that are involved there.
Absolutely. Well, from being an entrepreneur before, like I said, in construction, I had some business partners and we had really good relationships with suppliers. But sometimes those suppliers have manufacturers that put them in a bind and they can't control that.
Mhm.
So in business, you are only as good as the partnerships you have or the resources that you have access to. And when things are outside of your control, it can put you in a pinch or put you in a damper sometimes that could cost you money, it could cost you business, it could cost you integrity. And I'm a person that's pretty big on, if you say you're going to do something, do it, or don't volunteer to do it. And with ASEA, they they're not very bold and boastful about what they do on the business side of things. They just walk it out and they let their character do the talking for them. Vertus Norton was the founder. Well, he and his son founded the organization, but he was kind of the primary driver, and he's the one that had enough fortitude and integrity to say no to the big pharma buyout, which was their plan all along.
Mhm.
But it's because he saw the difference it was making in people's lives, and the people were more important than the money or the profit or the ego or anything else that might go with it. So integrity is unquestionably extremely high. And then the resources that they give to us to be able to, we all own our own business, but we are affiliated with this massive research and development company. And so they have the licensures, they have, all the legal, they jump through all the hoops of labeling and uh, I saying the research and development for us to do business in 33 different countries.
Mhm.
They handle the billing, the shipping, and everything, and then they send us a thank you check. But they stand behind the product, they stand up for us, and they're on the cutting edge of anything to do with health, wellness, anti-aging, athletic performance to allow us to have the platform to go whatever direction that we want. So the people on here, the people that might watch us in the future, you can have a vastly diverse and a different background and life experience, or even your own personal challenges, but everyone can succeed in this business with these products with this company because they have everyone's best interest in mind. And one of their mottos is to impact people's lives and be a force for good in the world. It doesn't matter what part of the world you're in. They want to uplift all humanity and all life forms. So when you take people that Virtus was also one of the very top strategists in the entire world for business strategies. And when you take somebody like that that has that kind of personality, a love for people, integrity, and also that business mindset, it's kind of that perfect storm. And it's ultimately up to those of us who have chosen to share it with others to impact lives. We can take it anywhere we want because they're the foundation, they're the rock, they're so forward thinking. They're probably have a 20+ year business plan, and they see things before they come. They're visionaries. They're interested in legacy. Not only am I building this business, but hopefully I would have my children, grandchildren, somebody down the line that would have that same passion and empathy and drive to make a difference in others' lives, that they might want to carry that on. And a lot of industries, you don't have that option anymore. And especially as the environment and global economy changes, some people, that 10 years ago had a business that was, worth a lot of money. They may not even have a business. It just implodes and shuts down because the economics change so much. So long-winded answer to your question, but yeah, I don't know that I found anybody. I know a lot of high integrity people. I know a lot of people that are very successful, but in terms of the Norton family and the empathy, paired with the drive and wisdom and strategy to bring something to the market as a pioneer that no one has ever heard of, that takes a lot of internal fortitude. And I actually think that they were chosen, probably something a little higher powered chose them to manage and be a steward of this resource. And we just get to play a part in that.
Those are all such really great, valid points, Thad. Thank you for sharing all of that. Okay, well, I will open it up at this point for anyone that has questions or comments for Thad. You're welcome to open up your microphone and your camera if you have a question. Feel free to do that now. Marita?
I'm just happy that Thad started sharing with other people and felt that I, being a teacher with all kinds of challenging students and workload, chose to share it with me, as well as many, many others. And we're so thankful for the company.
Thank you, Marita. Anyone else have a comment or question for Thad? Okay, Thad, do you have any final comments?
I would encourage people that would view this, to view it with an open mind. You have the ability to choose after you know what you don't know. So invest the time, the energy to learn what Redox is, what the company of ASEA stands for. And then if it's for you, great, use the products. Or if you have the passion to impact other people's lives, join us in this global mission to transform lives, give people hope. I kind of use a slang term. I'm a hope dealer, and people might hear that wrong. Hey, you're a dope dealer. No, a hope dealer. So, and if it's not for you, that's okay. Just be open to learning and then make the decision that's right for you. We would encourage you to join us in this mission if it tweaks your heart at all. So thank you for letting me share.
Thank you so much for being our guest tonight. And if you are watching, this will be recorded and it will be posted to the Creation Chiropractic YouTube channel. And we would invite anyone that had questions, you're welcome to call us at Creation Chiropractic. The number is 580-698-2852. And we will be meeting again February 6th, Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. for our next guest, where that we will interview and find out how Redox has changed their lives. Until then, we will say goodnight to everyone and thank you so much.
Right, thank you.
Hi, thank you.